In the hip hop world, album legacies are debated with passion. In this culture, the dedicated hosts who revisit and re-examine these projects are part of an elite squad known as Rap and Order. These are their verdicts.
Welcome to Rap and Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today. Welcome to another episode of Rap and Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
It's a good jersey you got there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go Penguins. Penguins fly.
That's crazy. So if you're watching this and you see Taurian's jersey, he's wearing a Penguins jersey. And we're going to a hockey game. It's my first hockey game. You've been to hockey games before.
I have been to hockey games.
Yeah.
They are actually pretty fun. It does not, like, some people say that when you go to a hockey game, you just see a bunch of undercover cops.
That's what I've heard too. So obviously the lure with hockey games and what people talk about all the time is the fights and everything that break out and how fun that is. And have you ever seen this movie called Goons?
Of course.
Yeah, that shit.
It used to come on Channel 11 all the time.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. With I think it was Sean William Scott. He did two of them. That movie is insane and it's so graphic. The hockey fights and everything, and it's no holds barred. How they kind of just let you fight because it's just it really is just a thing in the culture of hockey games.
Like you're going to penalty box.
Yeah, like you just
smoking.
Yeah, you really just gotta get it shaken. And I've always just loved that. I used to watch hockey games a lot as a kid because the Red Wings had a pocket of doing really, really well. So I used to watch it with my dad all the time, but we never went. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go and go check this out. Especially the Rangers not doing too bad right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Who knows? I might switch the jersey. I gotta look at the.
You gonna bring or just pack one and then mid game, just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Just throw this on, depending on how it goes. That'd be funny. So it's been going on. I know we kind of already covered. Oh, we didn't talk about TV of like what we've been watching and everything. So Paradise was a show, right?
Yeah,
we touched on that a little bit. I don't know. So watchers, listeners, spoiler alert, the way that episode 4 ends, how do you think Sterling K. Brown's character is going to find out?
The therapist. That's a psychiatrist the fine-ass psychiatrist that he just bedded.
Yeah, she fine.
Yeah, she fine as hell. She, like, he's, he was able to, like, look Billy in the eye and, like, know that, like, Billy, wasn't who the president says he is. So now he's probably going to dig deeper. Now it's probably some more paperwork that he's going to go through. And now he has to, like, probably press Sinatra.
Yeah.
And see, like, okay, like, what's up? Sinatra is, who was fucking the president.
Yeah.
So I think more is going to come out about that, what Sinatra might know, because I think Sinatra also has information and will be able to, like, I think Sinatra's going to know that Billy didn't kill himself.
And it's going to come out, it's going to come out that the president just wasn't a good person. I think something like that is about to pop out too, that we're going to find out. But I'm very invested in this show early on. I'm so used to TV coming back and or TV shows coming around and it taking a minute for me to get invested in them. They got this shit straight to it. I know, speaking of that, you're not the biggest fan of Severance, right?
Yeah, like, tell me, like, you could talk about it, like, and I don't plan on watching it, so you can spoil it.
Well, no, I'm not up to date. I've been kind of letting it just pile up so I can just watch it all in one.
And I watched the first season. Like, I watched it, and then, like, I was committed. I was like, let me just finish this through. So then I started using this background noise, and it's just not for me.
Yeah. So Severance, it's a really interesting show, and it's a unique take. It takes a long time to build in. Like, so I kept hearing about the first season, and shout out to my friend Des. She kept telling me to watch it, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. And I watched it, or I tried to watch it a couple times. It just wasn't hooking me. I was like, man, this shit is dry. Like, shit. Even the setting of it, all these white rooms and white walls, and it was just too much. It was boring. And then I got into it, and I was like, damn, this shit's spooky, The the concept is so fresh though. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try, and I got hooked. But the thing with those shows, they take so long to come back, and I get it, but they take so long to come back that I just get wrapped up in other shit, and it takes a minute to hook me back into the storyline and the plot and these characters. So even with Severance, I gotta go back and go watch the last season again.
Damn.
Or at least some of it to get back in that motion.
They announced Euphoria started filming.
I saw that the other day.
I think it's funny because some people are like, yo, all those people are grown. I'm like, they was grown when they was recording. They weren't really in high school.
Yeah. This one is gonna be, from what I read, is gonna be
college.
a time jump. Yeah.
It's a time jump. It's gonna be them in college. I just want to know how the fuck did Rue not get murdered?
Yeah, facts. Don't she owe mad money?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I smoked the TV, mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. She's gonna have something to where she talks about that. I know a lot of people are like, no thanks, we've moved on, but it's Zendaya. She's involved. So a lot of people are gonna watch it. And a lot of people that are on this show, their stars have risen significantly. They're all popping.
Well, the chick Barbie left the show, the heavyweight.
Yeah, Barbie Ferreira. Yeah.
So she left the show. The girlfriend that the what's Shorty's name that was dating Jake?
You talking about Sydney Sweeney?
No, not Sydney Sweeney. Well, she was fucking Jake, but Jake had a
girlfriend. Demi something.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her.
Yeah, same.
I like her.
She look good. I mean,
she's well in her 30s, right? So I'm not like,
she is in her 30s.
Yeah, okay.
I can't wait to see.
I'm at that age now where I can't be talking about women in their 20s. Like, 30s
and
up. I'll be talking about
we 30s and up over here. Sydney Sweeney. She has, her star has risen significantly. She even hosted SNL.
Yeah.
She was in one of the most successful rom-coms last year. She was in Madam Web.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that boxing movie that she's gonna do.
Yeah, she's been working out crazy. Her arms is brolic. I'm like, yo. But she is a really good actress. Yeah, so I do want to see what she does.
She's a great actress. And she's an athlete because she boxed growing up.
She boxed growing up, and she fucking fixes cars.
Yeah.
Like, that's her content. Like, she fixes cars and shit.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanna see what that's like. And what else is happening? I know, do we talk about this trade?
Yeah, I see it. I think if you know me, then you know I am like a huge Lakers fan. I'm not a fan of a player. I am a fan of the team, the basketball club. So my Lakers pulled off the heights of the century that we weren't even looking for. It fell in our laps, man. Nico Harrison, who is a friend of Roc-A-Fella, because, you know, Nico Harrison worked at Nike. He was a Nike rep, and he worked with Kobe closely, and Roc-A-Fella was Kobe Bryant's agent. Called him and was like, yo, man, you want Luka Doncic? That. And, you know, Roc-A-Fella was like, yo, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, stop fucking with me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Nico Harrison was like, nah, man, Luka's a pain in the ass, man. I want to get him off my hands, and I feel like, you know, Anthony Davis would be a piece that we could use.
Yeah.
Roc-A-Fella was like, I wasn't even looking to move Anthony Davis. Like, he was off limits, but this is too good to be true, so he took it. You know, the basketball world, you know, everybody's spending it. Luka's 270 pounds, this and that and the third. And I just think it was a matter of money, man. Luka Doncic was due to make over $70 million a year if he would have re-signed with Dallas.
Yeah.
They ain't want to give him that money because they don't trust him.
I think so too. And I think it was just I think they made such a strong decision in the moment without including anybody because they didn't want to be talked out of it. They didn't want any debates. They just wanted to just get it done.
Yeah, bro.
It was such a blindsiding moment, and we're not used to LeBron being blindsided.
Yeah, I'm okay with LeBron being blindsided. It's fine. Like, they ain't traded him. Like, they helped. If anything, I feel like this is an improvement. Obviously, love Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, thank you. Like, that playoff run in 2020 was amazing in the bubble. I think that I think that the bubble championship was a lot harder than people think. Like, people say, oh, it was easy. They were like, nah, man, like, that was tough. Like, we didn't know what was happening during COVID and shit like that, right? So thank you, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, thank you for your service.
For your services.
And thank you for being the big asset that got us Luka Doncic, because now, like, he's 25 years old, bro. So that means at least for the next 8 years, the Lakers are going to be contenders.
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I think so.
So, like, you know, I think I think in the next 8 years we have to at least win one championship. I'm not
How
saying
long?
this year, next year.
But how long do you think it takes for him and LeBron to build a chemistry?
I think they'll be fine. Like if you look when Kyrie came to play with Luka, like they played fine together. So I think it's the same thing. I think that LeBron is a smart enough basketball player to understand, like, okay, he can run this team. Like he can do this, and I think that he's trusts him enough.
And that's what he needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for LeBron, he's like, yo, thank God. Shit,
He's been looking to Anthony Davis to be that person.
Yeah, I hope that
working.
LeBron just like just plays his part and like you know what I'm saying, lets Luka do what he do, and like LeBron can like give Luka a breather because we know Luka out of shape. Just do what he is. Do. So I am ecstatic.
So we gonna see how it happens, man.
Yeah,
but
Jimmy Butler in Golden State.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I saw
that too. And Butler is 36, 37 right now.
Yeah, man. Everybody kept making jokes about Jimmy Butler and Draymond having stare downs and like fights and shit.
Yo, did whatever happened with Jimmy Butler and Shaqiri? Did he fumble that? Or was that just a rumor?
I think that was a rumor. I mean, I know that Jimmy Butler definitely like, he's a mover and a shaker. So if he is, it's quiet. It's very quiet right now.
Cause I saw her at the Grammys, man, and I'm like, bro. Which is another thing we didn't really touch on that much. Was there any shocking standouts for you for the Grammys?
Yeah, Beyonce winning album of the year.
Was that shocking though?
Yes.
Why was it shocking?
The album was not good.
You don't think that album was good? It was a good album. It just wasn't
compared to Renaissance.
Wasn't my jam.
I wish that she would have got it for Beyonce or Lemonade, and we wouldn't even be in this predicament.
Beyonce, Lemonade, or Renaissance.
But I think that Beyonce and Lemonade were like clear cut. Now I want to see what was those albums up against.
All right, so let me see, because I am curious too. Because the talk is all. I haven't mentioned anybody thinking that. I haven't seen anyone saying that Beyonce album should have got it. The self-titled. Was it nominated? It was nominated, right?
I hope so. I mean, if it wasn't nominated, that's crazy.
Let me see.
Let's see. All of Beyonce album of the year nominations. Let's see. I Am Sasha Fierce in 2010. Yeah, in 2015, Beyonce. Beck won.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because Kanye ran on the stage, right?
Well, he acted like he was about to say something.
So Ed Sheeran's X, Sam Smith's In the Lonely Hour, Pharrell's Girl, and Beck's Morning Phase. Morning Phase won. But I'll be honest, I've never heard Morning Phase. That's crazy. I would have been okay with Ed Sheeran.
He had a big year.
Yeah, that X album is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny. That Girl, I didn't know that Girl was held in such high regard. Girl was nominated for album of the year. Wow.
And that wasn't even. He had a big year that year because Happy was out.
Let's see. And for Lemonade, she lost to Adele. That's tough. Drake was in there. Justin Bieber's Purpose was in there, and Shrugel Simpson for A Sailor's Guide to Earth.
Yeah,
that's a tough year. Those are because it's like, how do you?
This is when people started paying attention because of that speech from Adele. She's like, Beyonce, you're the artist of my life, and
I guess Adele's 21 definitely should have got it. I guess if Lemonade would have got it that year, nobody would have said anything. Yeah, so it's Adele's fault why everybody started caring about Beyonce.
People started caring about that because she got up there and cried and said it should have been Beyonce. And then Renaissance, everybody was sure it would go to her because it was such a good album. Harry's House was good. But people were really upset that year. I remember that.
Damn, Mary J. Blige's Good Morning Gorgeous was on? Oh, wow. All right. Well, I definitely think 2015 was the year for her.
I think so too.
2015 for the Beyonce album, it should have been that.
You don't think Lemonade should have won? I think Lemonade was a game changer.
Or Purpose?
Yeah. I think Lemonade should have won. 25 was great though. I'm not mad at Adele winning, but I'm saying like 25 was like that one. I mean, Lemonade was that one.
2015 was the issue.
The vulnerability of it.
2015 should have been like, bro, it was it was slim. Like she could have beat like everybody would have understood her being Ed Sheeran. Sam Smith's and the Lonely Hour, that was a groundbreaking album, but they would have understood. Pharrell's Girl didn't stand a fucking chance. For Beck's Morning Phase, I've never listened to that album, so maybe I stand corrected.
Yeah,
maybe I'll give it a listen to tomorrow. But come on, man, the Beyonce album had Drunken Love, Partition, and 7-Eleven. And I'm biased. I'll be very honest with you. The Beyonce self-titled album is my favorite Beyonce project. I'm on a hunt for it on vinyl, ladies and gentlemen. Any of our watchers, listeners, if you know where you can find that album for me that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, please point me in that direction.
That will be a good one to have. It's a really good album. But yeah, I think as far as the Grammys go, I think they got a lot of it right this year. I did not expect Kendrick to be there. Him coming out.
I thought he wasn't. I thought he said he wasn't coming.
Yeah. So him popping out, receiving 5 awards for this song.
Lucian put that call in.
Yeah.
Hey there, little boy.
Yeah. Pop up on this stage, get these awards. Act like you've been somewhere. And he popped up and showed niggas.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I think this year they got a lot right. And I think going forward, they're gonna get a lot right.
Yeah, which is good, which is cool. I do find it quite interesting though that like country music is not acknowledging Beyonce. Jelly Roll explained it, like he gave like his explanation, like Beyonce didn't come to Memphis.
Yeah, you sent me that link. I got what he was saying, but I still disagreed.
I guess it's one of those things like, yeah, because it's like, I don't think what the fuck is his name? That white guy that talks like he just woke up. Rapper. He signed a DJ genre.
You talking about Jack Harlow?
Yeah, Jack Harlow ain't come to the Bronx and talk to Kool Herc.
I see what you mean.
Like, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like you didn't come get your rite of passage.
Yeah, like basically what Jelly Roll was saying is that like Beyonce hasn't like come to Memphis and like kind of like pay homage or like come and like she ain't check in.
Yeah. But he also, another point that he made that I disagreed with was that some of these people, they're not slighting her on purpose. She just hasn't like penetrated their bubble. Like she's not in their sphere of country artists and country acts.
And I understand, like, I watched it with like an open mind, and I get what he's saying because it's like she didn't tour this project. Like there's no videos for it. It's like she just put out an album, and she's not traditionally a country artist. So like they're probably just like, oh, Beyonce put out another album.
Yeah,
they're not understanding like, oh, this is a real country album that she's really, even though like she's working with country artists.
Yeah, and that's all the more reason why it's news in my opinion, because she's making an album that's not within the genre that's of her cloth per se. So that's why it should be on their radar, because it's like, oh shit, Beyonce crossed over into our genre, quote unquote.
I get it, but again, that's why I said, I don't see Tommy Richmond, like, I think the only white rapper that actually came to New York or the East Coast and like did that was fucking Eminem. He was in Jersey with a lot of those dudes, and like he spent a lot of time sleeping on couches.
Yeah, because Eminem loves this shit. It's not about the dollar value for him. Yeah, he loves this shit.
I really mean that. Like I don't think that I get what Jelly Roll's saying, but Jelly Roll, like, I just didn't like that. I like that he said that. It's like I appreciate the explanation. So now it's like insight, but it's like what you wanted Beyonce to do, like come and like sit at like a table in front of like some like country people or whatever like that and talk to them. Like shit, Jelly Roll, when you was rapping, did you come to the Bronx?
I think Beyonce doing that, if she did that, would also just be inauthentic and just, that's just some performance thing.
Fuck.
Because like, she used it. Everything that we've seen her do so far, as far as these genre bending albums that she's been doing it in an authentic way that at least authentic to her, where she's bringing it all back to her family and all back to her roots. So it doesn't look like she's just jumping and she's just genre hopping. It's all like, even down to the liquor brand. Like we talked about that, like how we felt. Yeah,
she always got a fucking relative.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, but it's all but it's all tied to her. That's the angle that she's taken. So it's like, yo, you can't really be mad at it. It's like, yeah, no, my uncle was actually doing this. Or my mom or my uncle Johnny used to sew these dresses and blah blah blah, and
Never
he
heard of
got
Uncle
us
Johnny.
into house music, and so it's always something, but it's tied to her. It's tied to her roots. She's literally from the country. She's from Houston. So it's like, yeah, nah, y'all didn't accept me in this. And to think, this album started as like a spite album, you could say, because of the whole thing with the Dixie Chicks, right?
Well, she performed with the Dixie Chicks and they booed her at the Country Music Awards.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, nah, I didn't like how I was received in that space. So I went to the studio, basically. And now it winning is all the more sweeter because of what it did for Shabuzi, what it did for Tanner Adele. These are black country artists that have been in this space for a while and never had this type of spotlight on them. Shabuzi's had the biggest fucking year in all of music, like just one of the biggest years ever.
And I love it. That's I don't know why. Like, I could be wrong, but it just feels like Shabuzi is like the blackest name ever.
Is that his real name?
I don't know, bro.
I mean,
I doubt it.
I was about to say, God damn.
That is just
That's kind of, I actually want to know his real name now. What is Shabuzi's real name?
Dolly Parton's his godmother.
Collins Obina Shabuzi.
Okay, his last name is Shabuzi.
Yeah, he just spells it differently. Yeah, okay.
All right, fire.
That's cool. All right, well, shout out to him. That's cool.
He definitely had to experience some shit in school.
Yeah.
But that name, he was fighting.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, shout out to him, man. And he got Miley Cyrus. Did you see Miley Cyrus I fucking him? You saw that video? That was crazy. I was like, yo, Miley Cyrus and her mom.
Miley Cyrus got Erykah Badu energy.
And her mom.
You don't think so?
What you mean by that?
I feel like she gives you the look and you fucking her. Like, you gonna be fucking her and you gonna be acting different.
I don't know. I don't think she did yet.
Nigga, she gave Mike Will some, nigga. We ain't heard from him since.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know.
Telling you, bro, she's a white version of Erykah Badu, bro.
Nah, she not there yet. I'm not rolling.
Okay.
I need more proof.
All right. I'm telling you, she's a perfect white. Like, look, Erykah Badu, like, got a fat ass. It's fine. It's holistic. Loves hip hop. Probably let you play video games and shit. Can cook, right? Miley Cyrus, white woman, no ass, country music. Like, I'm pretty sure like she really is really good at like home living Martha Stewart shit. Like basically what I'm saying is that they are the prototype or whatever the fuck they are, and they just know how to just.
And that's just what they are. Yeah.
She's like the prototype white woman.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. I don't know.
You don't know? You ain't jacking?
I don't know. I was trying to find that video, but it don't matter. So yeah, what else is happening?
What else is going on? Trying to think. Shit. My life is pretty boring now because I got the kid.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Boring is good.
Yeah, boring is good. Maverick is growing. After this episode, he'll be 2 months. So he'll be 2 months old, and I got to get ready for Valentine's Day. I want to take Sarah out, but I don't think Sarah's ready to leave him with anyone. So I'm probably going to have to make a romantic dinner at home. Her gift is on the way.
Save some coin.
Yeah, so that's that. The other day I brought home some chocolate and like I kind of like put it in Maverick's hand and had him say, "Will you be our Valentine?" So I did that. Cute. Yeah, because apparently, no matter how long you're with a person or which you marry, anything, you still should ask your partner to be your Valentine.
Yeah, you gotta keep the element of dating.
Yeah, So, I did that, and yeah, now I just have to think of. I think what I might do instead of cooking a meal, I think I'm going to try to order a meal, but I just have to be very strategic with the meal that I order. Very strategic, because what I might do is like order it and pick it up and then bring it home so I can make sure it's as warm as possible.
That's fly. Do you know what you want to order yet?
I don't. I think I'm gonna try either get her some kind of like Japanese or something like that. Like just see like if I can just get like a bunch of fucking sushi for her. And like just
Do you like sushi?
I'm a basic bitch, bro. I just get California rolls and like
Yeah,
shrimp
California rolls are
tempura and shrimp rolls and stuff.
yeah, you can't lose with those.
I'm basic.
I'm not that adventurous with sushi yet, but I'm open to it. You just got to show me the
I'll tear
direction.
some oysters and clams up though.
You know what's crazy? I don't fuck with oysters like that.
I get it. It's a texture.
Yeah,
I will say this: when you go to New Orleans, you have to eat char-grilled oysters. They're
I'm
cooked.
cool. I'm cool with that.
They're some of the best, bro. Nah, for real. You gonna want to? Well, I don't know, because you know me. The the reason why I've never done drugs, because if I did drugs, I would be an addict. Because I like when I like something, I go too hard. But when I went down to New Orleans, that's all I ate
Yeah, I really
every
want to
day.
try. Did you try alligator?
Yeah,
I want to try
tastes like
alligator
chicken.
too. Yeah, I want to try all of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm open to everything when I go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
nah, for real, bro.
Yeah,
All I did was eat char-grilled oysters every day.
yeah.
I will wake up, char-grilled oysters and rice and beans.
That sounds fire. I love me some rice and beans,
Bro.
I'm the only nigga that go to Chipotle and they be like, beans, and I'd be like, yeah, both. I get both.
Oh,
beans.
you get both beans. Yeah, I get pinto.
I get both. Love me some beans. What a segue.
What a segue.
Love me some beans. I'm gonna take that and go right into the album that we're doing today. So this was the debut album of Philadelphia rapper Beanie Sigel. The Truth is what we're getting into today. And there was a lot of talk around Beans around this time, right? A lot of people first became familiar with him from his features with Roc-A-Fella, and then more notably on Backstage. The behind the scenes look that it gave us for Roc-A-Fella and the Hard Knock Life tour specifically, and one of the most successful hip hop tours at that time and for a long while, to this day I could say actually. And The Truth was spawned in February 29th, 2000 is what it came out, excuse me. And it was the official release of Beanie Sigel. Album is noted as the first Roc-A-Fella release to introduce Just Blaze and Kanye West. And Bank. And they will all later become primary producers for the label. The album debuted on the charts and sold 155,000 copies in the first week, which is like, imagine that today.
Yeah, today, like that's
like what?
Yeah.
Back then, people was just selling like crazy. Hip hop was just in such a healthy place numbers wise back then. So this album debuted at number 5, but and despite that, it had one charting single, and that was Anything by Jay-Z, which was debuted on this album and closes this album out, oddly enough. They just used to do shit like that back then, Beans, I've always loved his voice, so it's unfortunate, what has happened to him in the later years. His voice is not the same. I know we've been hearing for a while that he's going to utilize AI. I'm waiting to see how that goes. I think that's a good idea. I just don't know how 50-year-old Beans is going to carry on or how much longer he's going to be rapping. But I'm curious. I want to see how that goes. But it all started with this album, The Truth. What do you remember about this coming out?
So when this album came out, I have my friend Tyson, shout out to Ty, who literally loves Beanie Sigel. Like, he just thinks Beanie Sigel is when we were younger, like I think as we gotten older, like he, is kind of dwindled down. But like growing up, he thought Beanie Sigel was everything now. So like this album and Paper Soldiers, we either listened to or watched all the time. So when this project came out, like hearing the production, the soul samples, obviously I had no idea like to think. Like I looked at the album credits because we had the CD and shit like that, so, and I saw the names or whatever like that. Rock Wilder stood out to me the most because of him working on
Blackout.
Method Man and Redman's album, right? I was just so excited to hear it because I was like, okay, cool. Like Roc-A-Fella, like, like they really are like building a roster, like, like more rappers are to come. So, for seeing Beanie Sigel, like I just thought like that was like really cool, and this was like the album. It was like, yo, yeah, like we love Jay-Z, but like Beanie Sigel was like all the girls like Memphis Bleak growing up in my school, but like Beanie Sigel was like who like we playing like sports and stuff like that, who we listen to while we playing sports and stuff. So it was just like very cool. And I also have like a theory that Jay-Z heard this album and he started planting the seeds. Like that's why the Dynasty like Beans is so prominent. And like he has that production and he got it right and perfected on Blueprint, like what he was going for. But he like this album sparked that like idea to get to like for him to get to that point with the project. Like I just like it's just so interesting. Like I don't think that Beanie Siegel's influence on Jay-Z is spoken on enough.
Yeah, no, it's not. People always talk about Young Chris's influence because of that flow.
Well, yeah,
from like Blueprint 2.
So he took he liked Young Chris's flow, right? And like that's like yes, that's very important. But Beanie Siegel's influence on Jay from content, like he basically kept Jay-Z, like because Jay-Z was, by the time Beanie Sigel came out, Jay-Z was like rich. Jay-Z was not in the projects anymore, like all that hood shit and everything like that. Like Jay-Z was already like becoming like a polished person. Like this nigga would like openly say, I'm going on vacation, don't call me. Like he was really a businessman. So what I'm saying is like Beanie Siegel's influence was like to keep that that image of Jay-Z being a street person like a thing. Like I think that there's so many times where like Beanie Siegel's presence kind of like helped Roc-A-Fella and Jay-Z. And obviously Beanie Sigel like admitted himself, he was like, he only had a certain amount of raps. So he wasn't like some dude that just had a bunch of raps like ready. But however the placement was for him to get that team of producers on the album influenced the shit out of Jay-Z for the sound that he used to make one of the greatest albums ever.
Yeah.
Like the Blueprint album. That's what I'm saying. So I understand like Young Chris's flow influenced him, but I think Beanie Sigel still influenced Jay 10 times more because we don't get Blueprint without this album. Without the truth. Like the groundwork is laid. Like so somebody could be like, that's not true. Like, nah. If we don't get the truth, we do not get the Blueprint.
So I think the truth, I think he influenced him in a different way. I think Roc-A-Fella in itself, in order to not be looked at as like going like quote unquote pop, Beanie Sigel still kept him tethered to the streets.
Right.
You know, he still gave Hove a chance to stay connected to where he's from because he was still gritty. You know.
Right.
You look at the timestamp of this album, you know, this was 2000, right? So Hard Knock Life came out in 98 and went 5 times platinum. His most successful album, still to this day, numbers wise at least. So you look at that, and now Jay-Z is being looked at from different angles. He has more attention on him. He has more celebrity. And when you get more celebrity, you risk your sound being corrupted or compromised rather.
Right.
And welcoming more audiences into your shit. So when that happens, people start looking at you different. But when you have somebody like Sigel, you can stay connected. And I think that's important.
Yeah, that's definitely important. I agree. Yeah. I kind of said that. I just spent less time on that part. But yeah, like I just think that his influence, like I don't think, I understand why Beans feels away at Jay.
I understand, but
he went about it the wrong way. But
because from Jay-Z's standpoint, I feel like the way that Jay-Z's looking at it is the way that a lot of people look at it, where it's like, yo, this nigga he had movies, he had a clothing line, he had a group. All of this shit was given to him before
he was a fish out of water with nobody to teach him any of that. Like he was just a street nigga and he just thought like, all right, this is what you're giving me, great, thanks. Nobody says, yo, get an accountant, you know, you need to build your credit. Here's a
Yeah.
credit card so you can build your credit. Like,
But we know Jay-Z enough to not be that person that's going to give you all the keys. He's going to
right.
give you the thing and you got to figure it out.
That's true. But I just think that, like, I also think that there's discernment. And whenever you're the leader and you have a team of people, you have to be like a teacher or a coach where, like, you know, each one of your students or one of your players is different. One might need a little bit more attention. One needs a little bit of tough love. One is going to figure everything out. And it's like, it just depends on how far you want that person to go. And I'm not saying that Jay-Z didn't want Beanie Sigel to, like, you know, surpass him or like gain more, but it wasn't Jay-Z's priority to make sure
right
of that. And, you know, I don't want to get into that whole conspiracy theory. I'm just saying that well, put it like this: Memphis Bleek is doing fine, but obviously, like, he's close to Memphis Bleek. Like, he knows Memphis, like, he's known Memphis Bleek his whole life. But I'm just saying that there's a lot that he probably could have helped. Like, because in interviews, Bean says, "I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do that. Like, I just took what was given to me." So for some, you know, and he probably didn't prepare. Like, yo, what if this dude don't fuck with me no more? What if I finally fuck up and then something, like, he decides, like, I'm completely cut off. He thought it would never end.
Yeah.
You know, that's unfortunate.
He never saw the demise of Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah.
He never moved that way.
That's how he just viewed things. So I just think that you know, in life, like, those sometimes you can get really comfortable and those that can happen.
Yeah. And to him, Roc-A-Fella was a family and not a business.
Right.
That's how he moved.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna dig into the album itself, and the album, of course, kicks off with "The Truth," which is produced by Kanye West. This shit is still on my gym playlist to this day.
Right.
It's such a good fucking song and a perfect representation of Sigel.
It was, you know, it's a standout track. You know, Bean's voice is amazing. It's such an amazing, his voice. He has such a, like, he has one of the most amazing voices in rap music. And I think that Beans, like, really, like, embodied that. Like, to me, like, his voice is, like, up there with, like, a Biggie or like Humpty Hump. I love the way he raps and everything like that. So
it's a signature voice for sure. And if you're into rap by any accord, you know Beanie Siegel's voice. It's just one of those voices. Yeah, not enough to say about that song. More than enough to say about that song, rather. So, Who Want What? Beans and Bleak. You know, produced by Just Blaze. I don't love this beat.
It's one of those songs where I'm just like, I like it, you wanna know what's funny? So because, like, in the recent years, we've been getting interviews where, like, Bleak and Beans both tell stories, and then Beans just recently had that interview where he said that, like, he feels like whenever Jay would, like, help Bleak he would give Bleak a little sauce, you know what I'm saying? So Beans wouldn't fully outshine him. I couldn't help but keep thinking about that when I was listening to the song.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, but I can't fault Hov for that. I don't look at it as favoritism though. I look at it as Hov wanting everybody to be on par with each other.
Okay.
From a song perspective and from a crew perspective. Whereas, like, when you listen to people and the discernment and, like, what's gonna come up in a conversation is, yo, he got him, he got that. This is a way of keeping the conversation afloat without it being unanimous that one person got the other person. You know?
Okay.
From a crew perspective, I think that's why. You know, Beans, he's entitled to look at it that way. But, you know, I did really like Beans and Bleak on songs together. I just didn't love this beat. Sorry, Just Blaze. Raw, that takes us, speaking of Hov, that takes us into Raw and Uncut. It's Beans featuring Hov, produced by Bink.
I thought that that Bink's production obviously, like, was on point, and I hate that how Bink is, like, always, like, slept on.
Yeah,
like, he's always the odd man out when you talk about that production, that group of producers, right? But I thought that like this was definitely like the preview of like Jay and Bean's like chemistry.
Yeah, it
I kind
is.
of think like, do you think like Jay like of Jay's collaborators, do him and Beans have the best chemistry?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's what
Absolutely.
okay. I agree. Like I'm just like trying to. I think him and Biggie might have been onto something,
Yeah,
but
but
they
we
only
didn't
got
get
it. To,
enough
yeah,
of
we
it.
didn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Jay love rapping with a fat dude. You know?
Yeah, facts. But yeah, this one is good. I think this collab from them doesn't get talked about enough
Absolutely not.
because they do have some really good ones on the tuck. So I see how this can get forgotten because it's not one of the very best.
Right.
But Mac Man, terrible. Hate this song. I hate the Pac-Man beat. Yeah, no. I think on paper it looked really good. Like, oh, Pac-Man,
And then,
Pac-Man.
you know, and then it's just funny. Like they asked Just Blaze to do with the video game, nigga.
Yeah. Nah, I was not feeling this one. Nah, this wasn't Just Blaze.
It's not.
Nah,
Pac-Man's not Just Blaze.
It's somebody named Robert Shem Kirkland.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. This one not Just Blaze. I think Just only did Who Want What.
Okay.
Yeah. The second track.
My bad. My assumption was that Just did that one.
I mean, that would make sense. A video game guy, yeah. But yeah, Mac Man. In theory, it sounds like it would have been good, but it's not good at all. I did not like this one. And that takes us into Playa, with a Mill and Hove, and it's produced by T-Mix. It's very obvious what they was going for with this song.
Mm-hmm.
It gives Can I Get a vibes.
Yeah, of course. They was trying to get another one.
Mm-hmm. Heavy on the Can I Get a. What's so funny to me about Hove in this time frame is how desperate he would come off sometimes to recapture things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was a little cringy, like even looking back when he did Sunshine of trying to, it's like, oh, okay, they like the shiny suit era. Let me get in where I fit in. Or like him trying to remake Can I Get Up because it worked for him.
Right.
Or doing anything because it worked with Annie. Like it's just, it was just a lot.
I guess it was just him trying, like it's Jay being a visionary, being like, all right, cool. Like if it worked before, let's see if it works again.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like, yo, bro, like be authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
And just like, no, like this is bullshit. But I just think that he so desperately wanted to cross over, but still keep some or like authenticity. Like he just couldn't he couldn't keep his integrity intact. Like he kept like whoring out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it is. He was kind of whoring himself out. And I'm glad that the Jay-Z that we have today just wouldn't go for that.
Right. Like now, like, I mean, and look, like now, like he sits back now. Like he's like, yo, I'm not putting out a project.
That's not,
I have nothing I want to
exactly. That's not for me. I'm not doing that. I don't need to drop every year anymore. Right. Y'all niggas know I'm about it. It speaks for itself. Any word on where a mill is now?
In Pennsylvania, people make the jokes that she's working at Walmart, but I think that
I've heard that before.
I think she's just living a normal life, and I think like from the interviews that the things that we do here is just that like she just was prepared to be famous.
Okay. What about how do we feel about Everybody Want to Be a Star?
Everybody Want to Be a Hold on. Everybody Want to Be a Star is one of those tracks where I'm just like, yo, like, this it seemed like a kind of like a cookie cutter track where like, all right, I've heard this concept in this song before, and so like I was just like, but I also had to remember that like Beanie Sigel doesn't come from a musical background, so I kind of just felt like, all right, cool, like this is so I've heard this before, but like I'm just like, all right, like I gave Beans a pass on that, like because I'm just like. He's become a rapper, but he didn't always want to do music.
Yeah. I think Everybody Want to Be a Star. I really like the verses. I didn't like the chorus, but what I did like was him showing his disappointment in people not taking the art serious. And his message of quote unquote be who you are. Don't just go for the stardom,
Right.
Let shit like that come to you if it's meant for you. I like that message of it. Remember Them Days featuring Eve.
Yeah.
Classic hood song to me.
Yeah, my father loved that song so much. He used to play that shit so fucking much, like a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where like the video would come on and I would change the channel.
Remember Them Days, heating up the house with the oven. Like, man, that's some real shit. Like, it's a really classic song, and on paper it looks great and it delivered. You know, Eve is from Philly, he's from Philly. It just worked, you know. And Eve was on fire around this time.
Absolutely was.
So this was incredible. Stop Chill, always loved this beat. It's so Beans, you know? Like, even regardless, like you said, like even if you don't know Beans to be the most musical, he coined the sound for himself. He had a sound for sure.
This song was definitely gave me like West Coast vibes.
Yeah. And it's so menacing, and like it hits. It really hits. Stop. Chill. Like it's just it has weight to it, you know?
And then, you know, and people that live like in other places, like people in New York listen to other regions, but people in other regions absolutely like are tapped in with other places. So I'm pretty sure like he was listening to like a lot of Bay Area.
Yeah, facts. So. I could see that too. Mac and Brad.
Yo, man.
Scarface.
We were owed that project, bro.
Yeah. It wasn't they was lingering on making, there was talks of them making this album together for years, and then it wasn't until like 2013 that Scarface was like, that's not happening. He was like, yeah, no, that's not coming out. That's not happening. And I don't know why he put his foot down so solidly, but at that time, he confirmed that it's just not happening. Yeah. A back and forth with Beans and Brad, Scar and Face Mob, you know, it just felt right.
Yeah, just hearing them rap together, it just seemed like it's such like a perfect match. Like it was supposed to happen. Like this was just something that just worked. So that's why I'm just like, yo, why we couldn't get that project? Why was it so hard? But like again, I just think Beanie Sigel just didn't have the right team around him to get certain things done. Like it's actually like a miracle that he got so much accomplished.
Yeah, I think Sam. I think for the vulnerability that they both pack in their music, this was a match made in heaven. I would have loved to see more of what they did. You know, What a Thug Bout.
No,
Classic Beans.
Yeah, no, What a Thug Bout went platinum in the house. Like that shit. Oh man. And I was playing basketball at that time, so like we were asking to play that shit during shoot around. Oh man.
This was like this beat was like the I want to say it was like the theme to State Property. They would play this beat on a loop in every scenario, almost every scenario of that movie. So yeah, hood classic for sure. What's Your Life Like? I wrote that this sounds like the third act to a movie.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It could be in a Creed movie. For sure.
You know, the rumor is that he's making Creed 4.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, no, so I think that was confirmed. That was confirmed that he's making a Creed 4. I don't know what the story is going to be about, but yeah, he has to keep it going. It's super successful.
Somebody's gonna call him out of retirement
again.
It better not be his daughter boxing.
Pretty sure she's gonna probably be boxing.
Like how? Like
maybe she's an undercard.
He would have to like advance himself years, like a decade. That little girl is 5.
That's true. Well, maybe so. It's in the future. In the future, she's gonna box.
Shit, who knows? Maybe this is like a year or two later after the last Creed.
So then her story is probably gonna be the spinoff from his story. They're gonna keep it going.
You can't escape this.
Just that's the best. And then it's gonna be directed by him. Yeah, that'll be the age up. I mean, not age up, but that's gonna be the spinoff.
Jesus,
it'll happen.
Release us.
Yeah, man. Never. They're never gonna release us. Let's see here. Roc-A-Fella. Loyalty track. Love me some Loyalty songs. This one is okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, this one's all right. Nothing to write home about. Die is terrifying. That's the song that follows it. I like how he Siegel's a very underrated performer on songs.
He is like he definitely
Rap
has
performances.
he definitely comes off with a lot of like animation
Yeah.
and the inflections that he can do with his voice and everything like that. He I you know the story that him and Black Thought grew up rapping together as kids.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there's a thing or two that he learned from Black Thought and like he was just able to like mimic it and like just like because Bean said it, he was like, yo, once he knew he was able to keep up with Black Thought, like he was like, like he wasn't really impressed by too many other rappers. So that makes sense. Like
I get that. I think this Die song, it can be almost read like a poem.
Yeah.
Like a passionate death poetry jam type moment. Like him on stage, I can see him on stage doing this, with no beat or nothing. Just like, cause he says the word so many times, die. And like, it's just like his cadence, everything is just, it's like it's not supposed to flow like a song, but it does. It's good. It's really good. And then we close out with Anything randomly from Hove.
Right. I didn't even know what to like. That always like threw me off. Like that they would do that. Like the album would end and then there's like that long pause, and then the fucking song comes on.
Yeah, and then it just comes on, and it's like, hey, yeah, we got this, and he made a video for this, and then it was just weird because this song, as Doc Carter, this was a single on as Doc Carter, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
now.
I want to say it was. And as Doc Carter came out in '99. So like,
was this a bonus again on Esther on the volume 3?
I'm gonna check right now. Life and Times. Let's see. That came out December 28th, 99. And Anything. I guess Anything wasn't on here.
Yeah, like looking now. Just the whole was strong. Well, yeah, it doesn't say it on here either.
Oh, Anything was on the European version.
Okay.
It was number 16. On the European version, it was number 16, and it had Jigga My Nigga and Girl's Best Friend as hidden tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. That's weird. That's weird. But anyway, that brings us to the closing of this album. Curious to hear your rating.
So I'll get straight to it. I give this album 4 out of 5 waffles. This was a strong debut. I just think that because he wasn't as famous or popular as some of the people that came out around the same time of this year, like he kind of like got like drowned out. But like this was a strong debut, and I also will say this: like the album aged well. The raps aged well. The way the subject matter still resonates. The influence of this album, like that, I'm pushing the agenda. I'm pushing the truth influence, the dynasty and the blueprint agenda. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it. I'm running with it.
Okay.
Like, so that's why I give this album such a strong grade, because this album laid the groundwork for what kind of like, set the tone for years to come. Like think about the 3 producers that came from this project. Like, you know what I'm saying? They went on to make history, and they get all the blueprint gets all the acclaim, but the truth is what really set the tone.
Okay.
So that's why I say 4 out of 5 waffles, like, is one of those debuts where, like, Beanie Sigel like made like a name for himself. Like none of these songs charted, but like everybody knew Beanie Sigel was like he was he wasn't a household name, but he was a name.
He was. He was a big name, in my opinion, from if you listen to rap on this level.
Right.
I will give this a 3.5 out of 5. So, which is still a pretty good rating. I think this album, if you're a Beanie Sigel fan, in my opinion, in his heyday, he doesn't have a bad album. So you got The Truth, The Reason, The Becoming. Those are the 3 that I rank.
Oh, you don't count The Solution?
No. I think was he in jail or coming out of jail? That's when he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just those three albums are very strong in my
Solution had
opinion.
that R. Kelly song.
Oh yeah.
All the above.
Yeah, it did. So those three, and I think his discography only got better. I think The Becoming, in my opinion, is his best rapping. The Reason is probably his most vulnerable, and this album kicked it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's such a great like timestamp for Beans, but I rank other albums higher because they show different parts of him. And I think this album is just the surface. This album doesn't dig as deep as the Beans that I like. You got songs like Feel It in the Air on The Becoming. You got One Shot Kill with One Shot Deal with Redman on like he just, the way he raps on those other albums that follow this are just so much better, and they just show him as an artist in a way better light. So yeah, he only got better after this album.
So would Beans' discography only be, outside of Jay-Z, would Beans' discography only be second to Kanye West on Roc-A-Fella?
So outside of Kanye,
it's Cameron, Memphis Bleak.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be second to Kanye, right?
Yeah, only second. I mean, Kanye, obviously, but outside of Kanye, yeah.
Beans, right?
It would be Beans.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be Beans.
All right, okay. Just wanted to see, just wanted to know. But yeah, man, this was a fun revisit. Like I said, like for me, it took me back to childhood memories and stuff like that. Kind of like, simpler times.
Same here, man. I think this album, the first time that I remember paying attention to Beanie, I remember it so vividly. It's the Money Cash Holes remix.
Oh, yeah.
And that song was on, and that song was on the Corruptor soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the video and being like, man, this dude's cadence, the way he just comes in, P-H-I, like, I just thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And I started paying attention to him from there, like, because everybody was on Hove, obviously. Hove was having his moment, but I was like, yo, that dude is dope. Like, that dude is special and he's different. But yeah, man, I would encourage anybody that's a fan of Roc-A-Fella in their heyday, if you haven't visited this album, to give it a listen. Beans is in a very, very different spot now than he was then. But yeah, all the more reason why you should listen to it. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And we're out of here.
We'll catch you guys next time. Dun dun.